and welcome to the GoldenComm podcast. I'm Danielle, Senior Project Manager here at GoldenComm, and today I'm sitting down with Megan to talk about Great American Packaging. Welcome, Megan.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
All right, let's get started. We have an exciting case study to talk about with some really incredible results for lead gen. So start off with just an intro of who is Great American Packaging.
Yeah, Great American Packaging, they sell, like if you're going to the grocery store and you see the bags that bread's in or tortillas in, it's basically those bags. The industry term is polypropylene, but it's just a flexible packaging of plastic that they use for these mostly food industry products, but any sort of flexible packaging. And they do large quantities and they do them all custom. So if you need your logo or a specific size for whatever product you need, they'll get it done for you.
So it sounds kind of like our bread and butter B2B, like almost industrial or industrial adjacent kind of an industry. So what did they come to GoldenComm for? What did they want when they became a client of ours?
Yeah, they came to us because they needed leads. So they needed phone calls and quote requests. Everything, like I said, is custom. So they don't just, you can't just order off of their site. You need to talk to a salesperson, walk through the specifications. So really through Google Ads and Microsoft Ads, how can we get these people that aren't just buying one or two plastic bags for their jewelry business they're making at home, but for thousands of bread loaves that a manufacturer needs for their production run. So that's what we did. We started off with Google, added in Microsoft Ads as well, and then later on down the road, we evolved into an email marketing and content strategy, but we'll save for a different podcast.
Yeah, that can be its own case study later when we have more exciting results to share. So what did we do for them when it came to getting leads, and what was the first approach or the first step? You mentioned Google and then adding in Microsoft, but walk us through a little bit how that evolves from like A to Z.
So Google, any client that comes to us, like they're usually going to start off with Google. Google's the big behemoth in the industry, so it makes sense to go after that. We had two kind of bread and butter campaigns. Like we knew that these are their main products. A lot of the search is around that, and it's poly bags. And it's going to be in the Los Angeles area and then the other 6 or so states that they service. So we focused all of our energy and effort on these two campaigns, let them run, and then as they started performing, we added in some more targeted campaigns around use cases or bag styles or even other geographic locations they wanted to target for their salespeople as we started to get more leads in.
So when you start a paid search campaign or a paid search strategy in general, whether it's Google, Microsoft, or anything else, what do you expect to happen? How quickly do you expect to see results, and how do you expect it to evolve? Is there like a plateauing period where that you reach at a certain point, or what does that look like time-wise?
I love to say that you get results the next day, but most of the time, a majority of the time, that doesn't happen. Google and Microsoft need time for their algorithms to learn your business and what types of conversions you're going after. So I always tell clients it takes about 3 months for the system to fully learn and for us to not only let the Google engine do its thing, but also for us to look through and optimize what types of keywords are coming in. Is this the right campaign to be running? And we saw with Gap, looking at the numbers, it pretty much hit that head on. The first 3 months were definitely learning phase and got some leads in, but had to do some tweaks here and there. And then month 4 is when it really started to pick up and kick off with the leads coming in. And that's when, after that, we started to add in some of those other campaigns.
Now, I think we've talked before on this podcast with another client actually about the importance of qualifying leads and the ratio of good to bad and how important a metric that is, that we're not just trying to get the numbers high with these campaigns, but that we're trying to make sure that the leads coming in are actually good quality, that they're going to lead to sales. So what did that look like as well for Great American Packaging?
So from the offset, we looked to see, okay, how many leads do we want a month and what are we willing to spend on a lead, doing some math to then see, okay, if we have an average order value of this much and we need this many leads in the pipeline for their sales team to close that. All that math came down to $225 per lead or qualified lead coming in. And that was roughly 20 qualified leads per month. So we had our benchmarks. Those were our numbers to aim for. And we ultimately started hitting them about 6 months ago, or about 6 months into the campaigns running. And even after in that 4-month mark when they started to kick off, it wasn't that they were doing bad. We just didn't hit those exact goals. We were kind of slowly
Working
chipping away. Yeah. So it definitely wasn't like 4 months and automatically we hit. And it was a bit of a stretch goal. We don't want to set an easy goal for ourselves. So it did take a little while, but in the end, over the past 6 months, we're consistently at over 20 qualified leads, which is a lead that they can see themselves closing. Their sales team has taken that and reached out to the person, had further communication. These aren't the leads that are looking for like 10 bags or the sales calls or the just junk spam leads. And we're consistently seeing under that 225 mark. The past couple months, we're seeing it under 200. So really seeing some good results over the past few months. And from that, it resulted in a more targeted campaign towards an area that they want to grow their sales team. They've hired a new person because of the leads coming in. They want to optimize on that. So we've started a new campaign to kind of funnel some leads their way.
And expanded to a new area as well, right? Mm-hmm. Which means even more growth, new untapped potential over there.
Exactly. Yeah, untapped potential in the plastic bag space.
And so how does calculating cost per lead work when you work with a client? Are you doing industry research of like what typically people are paying for leads? Is this just the calculation the client brings to you and says, this is the mark we're hitting? Or is it a combination of a little everything?
It's definitely a two-way conversation. So the client will usually know like how much an average order is and then how many orders will make them profitable. They can kind of do that math. So then we have that baseline to say, okay, in order to get this many leads, let's say 10% close rate, we'll need to kind of do that backwards math to say, okay, we need this many leads to come in if you're going to close 10% of them. And then with the average cost per clicks that we're getting, how many impressions do we need to get that many qualified leads? And the more data we have, the more we can refine the numbers. Great American Packaging is looking around a 60% rate of qualified leads, so that helps us adjust the numbers there. It's going to depend on any client. So what works for Great American Packaging may not work for another client, but it's just that conversation so we can really work out what that number is and then work towards that and always be checking back to see if that's still the right goal or if we need to change that number.
Sounds great. Okay, so we're seeing under the $225 benchmark for cost per lead, seeing about 60% of those leads are qualified or highly qualified. And by month 4, you were starting to see those kinds of results or like working towards those benchmarks that you had set from the beginning. So really the prime case study for us on what a paid search campaign can do, what results we're looking for and kind of proving us right that 90-day
Yes.
stretch is can be a difficult one to get through, but then if you can make it past that push, it's worth it in the end, hopefully, if you've done the
Definitely.
job right.
Yes. Yeah, it is sometimes tough to wait it out, but there'll be good results in the end if you do.
Yeah. Well, I know we're doing a lot of great work for Great American Packaging. You are doing a lot of great work for them, and we're going to have more fun case studies and exciting results to share about them, all thanks to Megan and her awesome work. So stay tuned for more case studies, and we'll be back soon.